Good morning, party people. We in this visionary year, right? What? 2020? 2020 vision? That's how it goes. All right. Well, I'm here to give y'all the first Car Chronicles of the new year according to the Gregorian calendar. So, coming to y'all this morning, and man, I must say, I was really battling some things, because I be feeling like, sometimes the topics that I be wanting to discuss or the things that I think about, they're not the popular topic, and I really, feel like, there's a lot of people, who don't really, vibe, or vibe out when we catch my vibe and really, be understanding where I'm coming from. So is there even a space for me for real, for my opinion? I know when I talk to, my people in my day-to-day life, they always are like, you got words of wisdom, you should put them out there. Like, you be really, you be coming with some, with some real facts, and you should put it out there and stuff. But I have to remember too that the people in my day-to-day life are my choice. When you're putting something out for the public, you don't have a choice on who listens to it and who doesn't, and also a lot of people will support you to your face and then laugh at you behind your back. That's just human nature, and it made me think of a wise quote, I must say, that I heard some time ago from somebody that was so ahead of his time that you didn't even realize. He was giving you so much game, but we were so caught up. And he said it. He said, y'all don't hear me though. Y'all just want to dance. And that's how I feel. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all just want to dance. If I get on here and I'm talking about the latest celebrity gossip or something like that, or offering up my opinion, that is well received. But when I get, online and I get to spit, or talking about, hey, go fact check some things, January 1st is, known as National Heartbreak Day, as far as our culture and our people, no one wants to go look that up, When you tell people that you got to think about, all of the holidays and what they symbolize, no one wants to go look that up. But yet still people ask, they say, people ask and they say, oh, one second, I'm sorry, y'all. My friend going through some things, so, just making sure she good. So anyhow, back to what I was saying, people ask, oh, well, why does it seem like, bad people always have good things happening to them? Or if we're going through these changes, in life, why is it that, evil prevails? Well, a lot of it has to do with what you're giving your praise to. A lot of things have to do with what you're giving your offering to. A lot of things have to do with where you put your extra time, what you study, what you don't study. You feel me? If you're dedicating all your time and money to these religions and all these false idols that they're putting up in front of you, then of course the elites are going to always prevail. Of course evil's going to always prevail, because you're not taking the time and the due diligence to free yourself. So we don't understand. We have so many artists that come out with good music, and they tell you things, and they drop so many gems on you, but you're so busy shaking your ass that you don't hear them, though. And I started to, in my head, I said I was just going to put it out there and just let people find out who said it. The people that come through. And you know what? I'm going to leave it like that. I was gonna say who said it, but I'm not. There's a lot, that's going on out here. And there's a lot of traditions that we follow that aren't ours. And you can tell by our day-to-day life on how we conduct ourselves, in the types of quote-unquote unquote, if you will, troubles that we get ourselves into. You know, case in point, it was stated that, you know, back in slavery times, they would take the strongest of the strong males and they would breed them, and they would call them bucks, and they would just sleep with all the different women on the plantation to make strong slaves. Right? Even though this is a proven fact, you can't possibly, a thinking person can't possibly say, you know what, this is the reason why men in the black community are like that and have so many baby mamas. You can't possibly say that this is the sole reason why there are so many fatherless homes in our community. Marriage is an institution that was introduced by Western civilization. This is not something that has been a time-honored tradition in the black community as far as going back to the original man, or Africa, if you will. As we know, Africa has many countries, but just during those times, there was a tradition between the tribes in Africa. I don't know the exact names of them. If somebody, you know, happens to research it, you can drop it down in the comments. It'd be greatly appreciated. But there were tribes in Africa to where if you go to war, because the men will go to war, right? And if you go to war as a man and you slay my husband, or the provider in my home, I should say, then you are responsible to come make sure that the fields are tended to, the children are going to school, all the quote-unquote wives or maidens that he had. This was your responsibility because you took away the provider. And you attend to the needs of the maidens, wives, or whatever you would want to call them, whatever label you want to put on them. This is the way that things worked where we come from. So if you look at it in that type of situation, they couldn't possibly be, I'm using wives for lack of a better term, but they couldn't possibly be wives in the case of, if you look at it how we're indoctrinated here, you can only have one wife. So they couldn't have been just quote-unquote wives. But they were the women that this man had. And if you look at it, if we were open-minded to that, it would be less arguing and fighting over men. And men probably would cheat. I don't even think men would cheat. Because any man in his right mind, after two women, he's going to have his hands full. Honestly, you understand what I'm saying? But the men were allowed to be men. They were allowed to go out and provide for the women. And the women took care of home, and they took care of each other, and they cared about each other, and they cared about the next woman, and they cared about the next woman's children. See, when we remove all of these different types of ways of life from our community, then we're going against nature, or what was in our DNA to be. Not to say that it's not going to be issues in anything that you do. Monogamy, polygamy, polyamorous, however the heck, whatever word you want to use. We're not going to get all, savvy and technical today. But there's issues in anything. But what I'm saying is things are less problematic when you do things that are natural, Now, I wouldn't have said this when I was, younger, because I was caught up in society and how it should be, and having the white picket fence and the dog and the husband coming home and being the homemaker and da-da-da-da-da. But today in my life, I'm even shying away. I've ran from And I guess subconsciously in my head, I must have known, because it ended up translating into my conscious life. I be running like heck for marriage. I really do. And honestly, to have a man one-on-one with me every single day of my life, looking at me for every little thing. I'm a Pisces. I'm naturally introverted. I like my space sometimes. I like to be by myself. I like to not talk. I like to just look off into space. I like to be in my dream state. I might not want to balance a checkbook. You know? But maybe there's a Capricorn woman out there who lives for finance and wants to put every nook and cranny in order. By gee golly, husband, go talk to your Capricorn wife and sit down with her and y'all balance the books. I'll be teaching the kids. We'll be learning about our history or creating things. We'll be using our hands. We'll build stuff. Let's go. Let me go in the garage with the saws and show our boys how to become carpenters. That's what I'm good at. Or let me take the girls and show them how to carry themselves like young ladies and dress classy and still be able to have that feminine allure so that they can attract a provider for them when they become of age. These are the things that I'm good at. We all have our areas of expertise, and if you bring it all together, that creates a community, and then the community can thrive. And families are supposed to be small communities within the community. You know? You dedicate your life to making sure that if you have children, that your offsprings are well versed, well taught, and that they can also get out here and survive in the world and provide for their families. And once again, I'm gonna throw another quote out there. You know, we quick to say that nothing lasts forever, but what makes love the exception? Why oh? We're all in denial because we know we're not happy here. We overstay our time in relationships. We stay beyond the expiration date. We don't keep it real with ourselves. You know, too much of anything turns bad. You could love turkey sandwiches, but if you eat them all the time, you're going to end up despising turkey. You have to change up the variety, and it's okay. It's okay. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all just want to dance. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all just want to dance. There's so many different ways for you to be able to live your life and have everything that you want. And you do not have to put yourself in these different institutions that make it hard. You know, if something happens and you do bad business and you happen to pass away, there's no reason, or it's not a good thing that your surviving partner has to be attacked, because legally they're your surviving partner, and anything and everything that you did in life, they'll come after that person for it. On top of the fact that that person is grieving you. These are the things, because this structure that we're living in doesn't want you to have any wealth. It wants to take all the wealth back. So the best way to do is to get it on your deathbed. They're going to either get it out of sweat or get it out of blood. But one way or another, they're going to get it. And that's what these institutions introduce. That's basically what it is. Stating that you love somebody enough that you take their last name. The love might be there for you two, but the love ain't there when the law enters. You know? And I listened to a gentleman, you know, by the name of Young Pharaoh. I actually posted him on my Instagram. I tagged him in a comment that I said. And I was watching a video that he did, and it was called Weaponizing Love. And I really listened to it, and I'm like, wow. Like, when when the veil gets raised over your eye, and I challenge anybody to go do the research. Like, don't just take my word for it. Don't just take his word for it. Go back and do the research. Research it for yourself and see if it fits you. See if you understand. See if it's something that you feel in your spirit, because it's going to talk to your spirit. It's going to talk to your DNA. Your DNA is going to rise up, whether you want it or not. You seek the knowledge, you shall find it. Go study. Go look it up. Find it out. Try it on. See if it fits. And if it does, then there's your starting point. And you just keep going and going and going. But we are very virtuous people by nature. We are very virtuous. And we have morals, histories, and why it has worked to our demise in so many different ways. Because we are virtuous people. We are honest. For the most part. Not everybody. I'm not saying everybody. So I don't need nobody saying, see, Miss Prolifically Abundant, Toya. Yeah, she said we all honest and virtuous. I told you I was honest. I honestly was not with that woman last night. See, she knows. Nah, don't go running with this video talking about black men don't cheat. Now, I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is, for the majority of us as a whole, we are very honest and very virtuous people. And it's gotten us in trouble because we're being honest while we're getting beat, because we're playing with a dishonest player. We're playing with somebody that's got cards tucked under their leg, but we trying to have a straight game of poker. It don't work. So they take the things that we hold dearly and that they know that we hold up, and they weaponize it, and then they use it against us. And the next thing you know, we're hoodwinked and bamboozled into situations where we shouldn't even be. And with the weaponizing of love, it makes you do certain things, or makes people make choices that they are not comfortable or happy with, all in the name of love. What's the good of having a husband in the house and be drunk all the damn time? Because he's not really happy. Because he don't want to just be with you, but he loves you so much that he's sacrificing that you guys are past your expiration date, because he wants to look good for the public, look good in the family eye. He don't want nobody to be yelling at him. He don't want to look like he was the one that did anything wrong. So now you got this husband that drinks all damn day long and doesn't want to be there with you anyways. More reasons to fuss, argue, and fight. I'm just saying. I'm not going to keep y'all this morning. I just wanted to drop a little bit of, knowledge on you guys, and basically let you in and let you see what I've been on, studying, trying to get to know myself so that I can be a better human and I can live righteously, but